Hey, what is up, friends? It is me, Big Homeboy D Casanova, and I am back with another Transformers review. This time, we are going to be looking at Transformers Beast Wars Transmetal 2. Count 'em, 2 Megatron. But before we get to the figure itself, as MGO316 would do, let's take a look at the packaging. Okay, now, a lot of people, or a lot of modern Transformer fans, are seeing what the newer packaging looks like. This is what Transformers packaging used to look like, or one of the iterations. I don't know what I just said. Anyway, so there is some artwork of Megatron looking all evil and nasty and stuff. 3-mode conversion. Transformers Beast Wars. Ages 5 and up. Ooh. Transmetals 2. Evil Predacon Megatron. Right there. Dragon. On the side here, we get the Beast Mode, the Supersonic Ground Cruiser, and Ultimate Tyrant Robot. This is an advanced level conversion. Transmetals 2, Evil Predacon Megatron. And on the back, we have your obligatory product shot, deploying wings, reinforced armor shield, energy crystal capsule, anti-gravity modules, pyro beam torpedo launchers, battle control thrashing neck. Transmetal 2, we also get a bio if that interests you and if you want to read it. And we have tech specs. Strength is 10 plus, intelligence 9.9, endurance is 10 plus, rank is 10 plus, courage is 10 plus, firepower 10 plus, skill 10 plus. Yeah. Damn near maxed out. We get the 3 forms again. On top, Transmetals 2, pyro beam torpedo launchers, deploying wings, battle control thrashing neck. Wait a minute, we've already been through this. I think that's an original price tag that wasn't removed completely. And we have this sort of cut. Well, mine was pre-owned, so. On the bottom, we have other figures that were available at the time, and Megatron's on his own packaging, like, on the available side. Proof of purchase, Hasbro, 1999. And that's pretty much it for the box, so I'm just going to set it right here. I do not need to throw it, that is MGO's thing, and I do not need to be stealing any more of his stuff. Also included is the instruction manual, which I also gotta show you this. Like, it shows 3 steps, like, on one side, and on the back, the other 7. And that's just for robot mode. And, oh, we have the transportation mode up here, so that's, I guess, 2 more. And the other action features here. So, yeah. But I didn't really read the instructions before I was messing with this guy. I'll throw the instructions aside. Also included, we get 3 missiles. And we get the figure itself. So, let me get him standing back up here. There we go. There we go. Anyway, so I'll get to the missiles later. So here is Megatron in beast form, which is a giant red dragon, as opposed to the purple dinosaur that he was in the first season, and the mechanical dinosaur that he was in season 2. And now we have a red dragon. Ah, crud. Now that I mentioned a purple dinosaur, people are probably going to think that I was talking about Barney, and No, he was not that kind of dinosaur. Megatron was a evil purple dinosaur who was singing songs of your demise and eating people's faces and uh okay, this may be off topic, but I gotta sing that song that I pieced together for Megatron. Megatron's a dinosaur, evil and conceited. He will rage and eat your face and destroy your whole village. But wait, he's a red dragon this time around, so... Megatron's a red dragon, evil and conceited. He will rage and eat your face and burn down your whole village. Okay, so, kitty song parodies aside... So, this is Megatron. He is a red dragon, but that's not the only color he has. On his head, he has this kind of purpley fade, and he also has green eyes. Okay. He also has this purple Predacon jewel on the left side of his beast chest. He's got black on the claws and black on his shins. He's also got some dark navy blue on the dragon's heels and on this side of the dragon wings. The rest of the wings are a translucent orange. He's got some gold on his tail and on his chest and dragon neck, or the underside of the dragon neck. He's also got some more chrome red on the back side of the wings. And he's got more of that red to purple chrome fade on the neck scales. Yeah, I dig it. I really dig it. Oh, and we also have this orange and red fade on the dragon abdomen. Kind of neat. He does have articulation in this mode. The dragon arms are ball jointed at the shoulders, and we have a hinge for the elbows. The dragon legs can move up and back. They have their own separate knee joints, and they can also twist at this joint. And you can move the feet a little bit. The tail, you can't really move the tail. I mean, it has a claw on it, but the whole tail is just rubber, so good luck trying to get it to stay where you want it to. As for the dragon's neck, there is a lever back here. Now, I want to put on record. The lever on my figure was actually assembled wrong. It was assembled to where this upper bit was actually facing backwards. But really, what you do want is for this upper part of the lever to be pointing up. So, anyway, if you turn the lever, the head will move with it. So you can move his head from side to side. And if you pull the lever back, it will make his dragon head go up. And if you push the horns on his head, they'll talk. So, yeah. It's all good. It's all fun. Speaking of the back, he also has a lever here, which will deploy his wings. Now, talking about the wings, if you want to get them splayed out and leave them that way, you bring the lever all the way back, and then you can turn it inward to lock it in place, like that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem with the wings, and it's a design issue. I don't think they made the wings in proportion to his body. Like, those wings are... How do I put this? Ed, what do you think? It's too small. Yes, that's right. The wings are too small. I think they should have been bigger. But you know, oh well. It's Hasbro. But, yes, you can also fan the wings out and extend them should you so desire. And of course, the wings can act as storage for 2 of the 3 missiles. Now, how does that work? Well, there's a clip inside the wing. I'm not sure how well that's coming across, but there is a clip in there. And what you want to do is you want to try and get the wing up in there. And once you get it far enough in there, you can push it down into the clip, and it'll stay for the most part, I think. They have not fallen out on me yet. They might give at some point, but hey, they're solid for the most part, so I'm not too worried. And of course, with the mouth opening, you may notice a hole at the back of his mouth. Well, that hole is actually there for a reason, because you can also load a missile up inside his mouth. As you can probably see back there. And, of course, the missile is spring-loaded, and if you open up his mouth, the missile will fire. So, I'll set that missile off to the side. Now, aside from the wings being too small, for my taste anyway, I only have one other complaint. That right there, that's Megatron's robot head, and it's clearly visible off the butt of his beast mode. I hate that. I hate that. But Megatron is a butthead, seeing as how he is the Predacon leader, so I guess I can't really knock it too much for that. Considering that most villains are asinine anyway. Okay. Now, he has another mode. Which, on the box, it is called the Supersonic Ground Cruiser. Honestly, I don't like it. But since I'm reviewing this thing, I might as well show it. So, I'm going to disengage the wings. Now, first things first, what you want to do is you want to bring the dragon arms up like this. Take the dragon legs, and you want to fold the dragon feet up and fold the heel out to expose this wheel. And I'm pretty sure you want to get it to where it's like that, I think. Am I doing it wrong? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Oh, and you also want to fold this section out to be like some sort of turbine. This, I believe, was left over from his original Transmetal form. Anyway, so you want to do the same with the other side. Like that. And then, for the dragon head, you want to pull this lever back, and there's this little lip, like, you can see that, there's this little lip. If you pull the dragon head as far back as you can, and fold that lip down, that lip will catch on this raised bit on his neck. It's molded detail, but it'll catch, and it'll more or less lock the dragon head upward. And that's him in vehicle mode. Again, I don't know about you guys, but this mode is flat out ridiculous. But it is what it is. Some people may find some play value in this. I myself just find it flat out ridiculous. It's like Megatron's attempt to be like in the roller derby or something. I don't know. But the missile, you can load it back up in the mouth if you can. If I can see what I'm doing. There we go. And like before, if you open the mouth wide enough, it will fire. But of course, we also have a launcher back here, which the missile can load into. It goes in a certain way. Like, half of it is rounded, and then the other comes to be like part of a crosshair type shape. It goes in a certain way. But once it's in there, you can pull back on or push down on the trigger and it will fire. Again, this is just ridiculous. I mean, it's a dragster dragon. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I will say this. If you want to make it look cooler, you can fan out the wings. Kind of make it look like the Batmobile is going to a medieval fair or something. Cosplaying as a dragon. Or something. Honestly, though, I don't know what Bruce Wayne... I don't know why Bruce Wayne would even be interested in medieval stuff. Anyway. So, enough of this. Let's get him back into beast mode. And there. As you can see, he's got a pretty long neck. Bring the camera back up. Pretty long dragon. I like it. Now, do we notice anything here? Like the head being a bit off-center? Well, a lot of people say that when Megatron was in box, his head was like tied to the insert like that, and it warped the rubber of his neck, so there is a remedy for that, but I'm not gonna bother. I mean, I already had to fix this thing, like, why bother? I also have an issue with the tail, like, that is also warped. It was bent in this kind of shape and mistransformed in the box, but again, I'm not going to worry too much about that. There are remedies for it, but I'm not going to bother, So, I think that's enough about beast mode. And I think the cord from my phone was not in. Okay, now that I've plugged my phone back in, let's get into the transformation. Okay, so first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out the legs and turn the lower shins around. Like that. And then, what you want to do is you want to detach the dragon arms like this. And you want to fold the dragon wings down like that. Or bring them down to there for now. And then you want to come to the dragon's chest, open up the chest panels, and then what you want to do is you want to take this abdomen piece and detach it like this and raise it up just a little bit for now. And then you want to take the dragon's hips, bring them downwards, and peg them together. This will bring them to their robot configuration. And then what you want to do is you want to take the legs and at this hinge right in here, this hinge right here, you'll want to, if I can, there we go, okay. You want to bring them out just a little bit. And at this point, you could take the dragon's tail and turn it around so that the head is in its configuration for robot mode. Then you want to take the wings and fold them down the rest of the way. And there are 2 pegs right in here. And we got 2 holes here. You want to try and get the pegs to go into those holes. And there we go. So now that we're at this point, we can take the dragon's head and bring it down to the side. That will be one of his arms. Take the abdomen and rotate it up and out. That will be the other arm. Close the dragon chest panels back up and turn it around to there. Then you can take the legs and finish bringing them up. And then we can turn the entire figure upside down. Whoa! I'm sorry, everybody. Anyway, that little accident aside, let's take the robot head, bring it down like this, fold the dragon's tail down, and we can fold the dragon arms inward to collapse it a little bit. And then finally, we can bring the arms up and bring them into place. There we go. And this abdomen piece, you can pull it out and spin it around to form some kind of forearm shield. There we go. Let's see if I can... Okay, there we go. We've got Megatron in robot mode. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but my arm is really tired right now. Megatron. Transmetal 2 Megatron in robot mode. He's actually quite short. Honestly, with how big the dragon was and the show model, I thought he would have been about, like, that tall, maybe. But, you know, oh well. Now, the lever, or both levers from Beast Mode, are still present and workable. And you can lock the dragon head back if you want. But I think that looks a bit goofy. This little lip can also kind of catch into the screw hole. And straightens out his arm a little bit. But it doesn't necessarily do much. So I just let the dragon head hang loose. I just think it looks cooler like that. Like before, you can load a missile up in his head, open the mouse, and he'll fire a missile. Or, if you want, you could take the missile and load it back up into the launcher above his head. And of course, push the trigger, it'll fire. So... he also has this helmet piece that you can open up. And another thing to note, all this stuff is actually attached to the back of his head, so technically the head is not a separate piece. You can't move the head individually, so that's a bummer. But speaking of the head, it's getting close here. Yeah, that is definitely Beast Wars Megatron. I mean, that constipated grimace you'll recognize anywhere. And I do mean constipated. Like, that is the one gripe I have with the Beast Wars Megatrons. Like, they never got his evil smirk right. They always gave him these grimaces that just look straight up constipated. Sorry, Emgo, but I have to steal this other bit. Like, while Primal has his monkey rage, this guy always has Megatron constipation! Oh, I have to crap! I'm sorry, but that is just funny for me. Anyway, as for articulation in this mode, well, get a little side-to-side tilt, even with all this junk attached to the head. The shoulders can rotate and go in and out. The dragon head, you can do whatever you can with it. The right shoulder is ball jointed, and the right elbow, there's a hinge for forward and back, and a ball joint just below it. The legs, they're more posable in this form. Like, they can go forward and back, they can go out, they can bend at the knee, they can bend at the shin, and they can spin at the shin. And you can also move his feet if you'd like, if that serves any purpose to you. Now, getting in close again, we do have this section here, which can spin around, and there's this little piece in here that looks like a command chair. Now, I heard from Ball Matrix that this was supposed to house like a humanoid toy, like all this was a mech suit. Honestly, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand it. If I could open this section up and remove it, I probably would, but, you know, I like my figure as it is, so there's no point. He has a Predacon symbol on the top of his helmet. That's cool. And you know what else is also cool? You can still access the wing gimmick, and if I can, there we go. That lever is really hard to work in this mode. But, just like in Beast mode, you can fan the wings out to give kind of a cool effect. So, yeah. So, why don't we do some comparisons? Like, you've been catching glimpses of this guy from behind. Here is Primus. Megatron is half the size of Primus. Here is Classics Megatron. They're almost the same height. Actually, Classics Megatron comes up to the top of this Megatron's dome, and the dome comes a little bit above the actual top of the head right here, so yeah, there is that. Classics Optimus Prime. They're about the same height, if you can see that. And last but not least, here's a comparison with my favorite Transformer, Optimal Optimus, who is a head and a turret taller. Okay, I can see now why he has a gun. Even with the turrets, like, the turrets are good for long range, but a handgun can pretty much help for below his turret range. And here's another bit of irony. Megatron and Beast Machines made a copy of this body, but without the Beast mode, so I guess technically it's former body, future body. I don't know. So, overall, what do I think? What do I think? And I knocked him over. That was my fault. That was not an issue with the toy. That was my fault. I knocked him over. I knocked down the Megatron. By George. Anyway. So, what do I think about this figure? Honestly, I like him. I think this is by far one of my favorite Megatron designs, like, ever. I like him better than the purple dinosaur. I like him better than the Transmetal dinosaur. Believe it or not, I actually had the first Transmetal Megatron in my hands at one point, but it disintegrated in my hands. Actually, I think it might have been a knockoff now that I think about it. But this guy, he may have been pre-owned, but he is still solid. And in such nice condition. I mean, look at that. Look at it. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love it. I love it. He's not perfect. I do have my issues with it. But I will put on record that I still love this guy. Yeah, he is fidgety. The transformation is a bit complex, among other issues. But, to be honest, he has that certain something that most modern Transformers just don't really seem to have these days. Like, the modern movie figures just don't really seem to attract my attention like this guy does. Honestly, yes, he has problems, but he has that certain essence, that je ne sais quoi that says this is something special. And to be honest, I have to agree with Ball Matrix. This is a very special figure. And I do believe that this is a Transformer that should be in your collection. Even if you're not into Beast Wars and you just like Megatron and Optimus, this guy is still worth a look. Yes, he may be a Predacon, not a Decepticon, as we all know and love Megatron as, but he still has the namesake, and he just has that something that scratches that certain urge, that certain itch for me. I like this figure. And chances are, if I like this figure, other Transformer fans are bound to like him too. I got this guy as a Christmas gift, and let me tell you, I am extremely happy. And I'm going to bring Optimal Optimus back in here one more time. Both of these figures are extremely awesome. If you could only get one, I still have to go with Optimal Optimus on that, but that is not to say that this is not a great figure as well. If you could find him anywhere, I strongly recommend you get him. Even if it's not for you, if it's for, like, say your kid or a sibling or for a friend who loves Transformers, this is definitely a must for their collection. This is a great figure. I highly recommend him. Final rating, he's not perfect, but he's definitely far from terrible. He does have issues, but some of the issues are minor. I say overall, this guy is worth an 8.5, no, a 9 out of 10. This guy is definitely worth a 9 out of 10, so Transformer fans, if you see this guy, I strongly recommend you get him. Whether it's at a collectible shop, eBay, Amazon, or what have you. If you see this guy and he's a good price, totally, you've got to get him.